Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories like these. Now, let's get into today's story video. AITA for having my husband fired. But here I am, doing something I can't believe I'm doing, but here I am. Richard, a 34-year-old man who used to be my boyfriend, has stepped forward to tell his story, 29 female. We split 3 years ago because he was violent and disloyal. Nevertheless, we have not yet divorced since divorce is costly in my country, and every time I want a divorce, Richard insists on meditation, so divorce is refused because one of us works to repair the marriage. In the meanwhile, he moved in with his mistress, and the two of them became parents to a child that they had together. I have acquired a restraining order against both of them in order to protect myself from the other. The fact that the utility company for which my ex-husband works supplies service to the buildings in which their offices are located means that my employer is aware of all that has transpired. One of the major suppliers in the country. We will now get down to the meat of the matter, which is as follows. Due to time constraints, everyone is now working from home, with just a few days a week spent in the office. Although we are still legally married, Richard walked up to my place of work with his child and asked to meet with me about child support money, despite the fact that we are still legally married. Richard was requested to leave the premises immediately since my supervisor was aware of the situation. Thus, reception refused to alert him whether I was in the office or not. I was, and Richard was asked to leave immediately. The situation escalated when Richard refused to comply and security was summoned. Security was unable to physically remove Richard due to the presence of his kid, but reception threatened to notify the electrical company for which he worked. Due to Richard's appearance in my workplace, which was deemed gross misconduct, and the discovery that Richard was his mistress's boss, apparently the employer was unaware of their relationship, which is strictly forbidden to have a relationship with someone who is directly employed by you. Richard and his mistress were fired with immediate effect, and they were fired as a result of this discovery. As a result of Richard's actions, the energy company expressed sorry and gave a substantial discount on their services in order to ensure that word of what transpired did not spread. Richard agreed to the terms of the deal. Almost 1 week after they were dismissed, I've received phone calls from anonymous numbers claiming to be Richard's or his mistress's family or friends, accusing me of being a jerk and of terminating them in order to get Richard's or his mistress's forgiveness. According to numerous of our shared acquaintances, his termination and the loss of their principal source of income is too severe, and that I should have avoided it or shouldn't have brought it up at the opening of the talk. AITA. Edit. Just so I don't keep repeating myself in the comments, I'll make one last edit. His family believes that having several partners and being responsible for children is okay, even if he is having an affair with another woman. He also spreads the fiction that I couldn't get pregnant, I don't want and have never wanted children, which led to his mistress assisting us with that, but I overreacted and labeled it infidelity, so he was forced to stay with her in order to provide support for the baby. It's the same thing he did in court when we were divorcing, along with his lies about how much he still loves her and how he could have communicated more effectively. Accordingly, the court declined to grant a divorce because they believe he is making an effort to save the marriage and that I am being unreasonable. I appreciate your support. I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed with trying to answer to everyone, but I just wanted to emphasize a few of issues. His family's beliefs are out of the ordinary in our country, and I have no doubt that they would change if the situation were reversed. Due to the frustration of my employer, he provided me with the contact information of a friend who is a family lawyer and has promised to help me at a discounted rate as a thank you for the favors that my employer has done for him. I am grateful to my employer for his generosity. He knows why the courts are taking so long, and he will do all in his power to ensure that the divorce is finalized quickly. He also works on a no-win, no-fee basis, and he believes we have a good chance of winning the case and having Richard pay any overdue charges. One of the most major differences is that I have not been paying child support to him and am not compelled to do so. It may be difficult to prove that the child belongs to me since his mistress is a surrogate, but Mr. Lawyer, to whom I now owe a drink, declared the courts couldn't order me to pay or accept the child because there is no evidence of any agreement between the two of us. Story 2. AITA for me 22 female unplugging the internet when my BF 23 male was playing a game. I had prepared supper for my love and had chatted with him on the phone several times before everything happened. Once I realized that he wasn't responding, I decided to go outside and locate him so that I could take care of his lunch for him. as a result of his involvement in a video game, such as Call of Duty or Halo. He said he was unable to hear me speak. Then I offered it to him, who took one look at it and said, "I don't want mac and cheese." I apologized and handed it back to him. I offered my apologies and returned the item to him. As a dinner suggestion, I proposed chicken nuggets and fries. If you had paid close attention when I returned, you would have heard that the shop was completely out of nuggets. Please accept my apologies for the inconvenience. Tossing the dinner plate into a pair of drawers was the next step in his strategy. Asked about his condition, he merely said that his wrath was focused at me since I had just caused him to die in a game by distracting him, and that he was already irritated by the prospect of having to eat macaroni and cheese. It was my warning that you should avoid playing video games while eating if it would make you furious, and you took my advice. While I was eating supper, I walked downstairs and shut off the internet, since he was basically saying anything he wanted and having the music playing in the background. He hurried down the stairway, clearly bewildered as to what he had done to deserve this. If you are unable to listen to me, you should refrain from playing video games while I am attempting to do my tasks. In response to his argument that I was unable to turn off the internet since he had paid for it, he was reminded that by not listening to me, he was wasting his meal. Apparently, I should have alerted him that the nuggets had run out before shutting off the game and waited for him to finish the game before turning it back on. According to the player, although his mother and my mother both believe that he was being unreasonable, particularly after chucking the plate, they disagree on the specifics. Those who disagree with me insist that I should not have shut off the internet, but I believe that they are utterly missing the point. What do you think? Did I make a mistake, or should I have gone about things differently? Update. Recent developments include expressing my appreciation for everyone who supported me in recognizing that what he did was wrong. As a result, I was bewildered as to why my mother and father would stand by him, and after chatting with my mother, I discovered that he had previously disparaged me and had given her a different story than what had really occurred in the case. The fact that he had told her that he had been at work all day and had returned home made me upset, and I turned off my computer and the internet while saying, "No games or food." He had been playing the game for 8 hours straight on that particular day, which I'm not sure why she would trust him. Whatever the case, I ultimately decided to leave him and return to my mother's place for the time being. All of my stuff are now in the process of being relocated, but I have the ones that are the most significant with me at the moment. It seems he has been contacting me, begging with me to come back since he misses me, as well as the fact that he is unable to make food for himself. The next time I went to grab some of my possessions, I saw that McDonald's wrappers were strewn across the room. Also on Facebook, he shared a video of himself sobbing and wrote the words, "I accepted everything and I'm a B*TCH. It seems that his mother is still on his side, and she has been tormenting me via text messages, accusing me of abusing her son, which I find absurd. How dare Eve him? She screams fiercely in response. When she was unsuccessful in her attempt to guilt-trip me by speculating about how he would clean and cook on his own, she resorted to threatening and aggressive letter-writing campaigns to get my attention. In spite of the fact that I was completely unaware of the amount of stress he had placed on me, I'm feeling much better now. So, once again, thank you everyone who has been supportive of me during this process.